Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, put down your matcha, turn off the TV, and listen to me because I am currently vibrating with rage. You know how excited I was about this move, right? You remember the drama, the Zillow scrolling at 3 a.m., the absolute Hunger Games that is finding a decent place in San Francisco. I thought I had finally won. I thought the universe was finally like, here you go, babe, a nice unit, a fresh start. Lies, all lies. The universe is actually laughing at me, and the punchline has 6 legs and moves way too fast when I turn on the lights. So, let me spill this absolutely rancid tea. It has been exactly 26 days since I signed this lease. 26 days. I haven't even hit the 1-month mark yet. That's in 4 days, and I am already looking up legal codes and crying over cardboard boxes. You know how much I abhor moving. You were there for the last one. It is literally my own personal hell on earth. The tape, the bubble wrap, the lifting, the sweating, I would rather get a root canal without anesthesia than move again. But girl, I might have to. I might actually have to pack up my entire life again and retreat to my parents' house like a defeated soldier because I am living in a horror movie. I have roaches. And I don't mean, oh, I saw a little beetle near the back door. No, I mean an infestation. Let's rewind. Picture me at the walk-through. The landlord is smiling, I'm smiling, the sun is shining through the bay windows. The place looked pristine, okay? I checked the corners, I looked under the sink, I did my due diligence. At no point, not during the tour, not during the lease signing, not during the handover of the keys, did anyone mention that the building was essentially a cockroach nightclub. There was zero disclosure. None. In California, you'd think they'd have to tell you if you're moving into a bug sanctuary, right? The first couple of days were fine. I was blissfully ignorant, unpacking my cute little decor, setting up my vibe. But then, the sightings started. At first, I was in denial. You know how it is. You see something scurry out of the corner of your eye and you think, oh, maybe it's just a spider or a shadow. But then I went into the kitchen for a glass of water at midnight on Tuesday. I flipped the switch. Girl, they were on the counter. They were on the floor. It wasn't just one lost bug, it was a gathering. I screamed so loud I probably woke the neighbors, who, by the way, probably aren't screaming because they're used to living in filth. It has been days in a row now. Every single day. I wake up, I go to the kitchen, I see a roach. I come home from work, I sit on the couch, I see a roach. I feel like my skin is crawling 24/7. I can't even eat in my own home. I'm living off takeout that I eat in my car because I'm terrified that if I drop a crumb, I'm summoning the horde. But here is the part that is going to make you gag. Are you ready? You know I needed a fridge, right? The unit needed a fridge, so I ordered that gorgeous new one I showed you pictures of. Brand spanking new, stainless steel, delivered literally 3 days ago. It still has that new appliance smell. I went to grab a La Croix yesterday, and I noticed some movement near the bottom grate. I grabbed a flashlight, got down on my hands and knees, which let me tell you I should not have to do in my own home, and looked. They are nesting in my brand new fridge. The fridge has been in the apartment for 72 hours and they have already colonized it. They are inside the motor housing. They are in the back panel. I literally saw antennae twitching out of the vents of an appliance that cost me hundreds of dollars and hasn't even been plugged in for a full week. I feel so violated. I feel dirty. I feel like everything I own is contaminated. I want to burn the fridge. I want to burn the building. And do you want to know what the pest control situation is? I called the management, obviously hysterical, and they were like, oh yeah, pest control comes by. When? I asked. Ideally today, ideally with a flamethrower. Once a month, they said. Once a month. Girl, this is San Francisco. We are living on top of each other. If one unit has roaches, the whole building has roaches. Once a month spraying isn't pest control. It's a mild suggestion to the bugs to maybe move next door for an hour. It is clearly doing absolutely nothing because the population in my kitchen is booming. The roaches are thriving. They're probably filing tax returns at this point. I have been doing everything right. I'm cleaning like a maniac. I'm sealing food in airtight containers like I'm prepping for the apocalypse. I'm putting down traps. But it doesn't matter because they are in the walls. They are in the building. And now they are in my 3-day-old refrigerator. So now I'm sitting here staring at my lease trying to play lawyer. I signed for a year, a full year. The thought of staying here for another 11 months makes me want to weep. I physically cannot do it. I'm not sleeping. Every time I hear a noise, I jump. I'm checking my shoes before I put them on. This is no way to live. But the lease. Oh, the lease is ironclad. I scanned through the whole thing looking for an escape hatch. I looked for a gross bug infestation clause, but surprisingly, that wasn't there. It says I am absolutely not allowed to sublet to a new tenant, so I can't even pass this nightmare off to some other poor soul. Not that I would, because I have morals, unlike my landlord. But it means I'm stuck on the hook for the rent. I didn't see any specific clauses about breaking the lease early without a massive penalty. But here is where I need you to hype me up. I'm pretty sure, like 90% sure, that I've read about tenant rights in California. Isn't there something about implied warranty of habitability? Or like undisclosed information? They knew about this. There is no way they didn't know. You don't get an infestation this bad overnight. The previous tenant must have complained. They painted over the cracks and hoped I wouldn't notice until the check cleared. That feels fraudulent, right? That feels like I should have grounds to walk away. I'm agonizing over this. My options are bleak. Option A, I tough it out. I buy stock in Raid. I live with new roommates who have 6 legs and pay 0 rent. I spend the next year in a state of constant anxiety, terrified to open my fridge, terrified to turn off the lights. Option B, I try to negotiate with the landlord. I go in there, guns blazing, threatening legal action, citing health codes, and demand they let me out of the lease. But what if they say no? What if they sue me for the rent? I can't afford SF rent on an empty apartment and rent for a new place. Option C, I break the lease, deal with the fallout, and move back in with my parents temporarily. You know I love them, but moving back home, in my late 20s, after I just made this big move, it feels like such a failure. And the moving, God, packing everything up again, unplugging that infested fridge and figuring out what to do with it. Do I even bring it with me? Or is it a Trojan horse now? If I bring the fridge, do I bring the roaches to my parents' house? I'd have to leave it behind. That's money down the drain. I am spiraling. I am fully spiraling. I feel like I have grounds, right? I mean, infestation within days of moving in. That proves it pre-existed. That proves they failed to provide a habitable unit. I shouldn't be forced to live in squalor just because I signed a piece of paper under false pretenses. I need you to tell me what to do. Do I fight this? Do I go full Karen on the property management? Should I call the health department? I feel like my nice girl era is over. I need to enter my villain era because these roaches are disrespecting me in my own house. I can't believe this is happening. I spent so much time curating this space. I bought rugs, I hung art, and now I'm afraid to walk on the rugs barefoot. What would you do? Would you stay and fight the bugs, or would you burn the bridge and the lease and run? I feel like I need to draft a terrifying email to the landlord, but I'm scared they'll just laugh and point to the no early termination clause. Please tell me I'm not crazy for wanting to leave. Please tell me that roaches in the brand new fridge is a valid reason to break a contract. I need you to gas me up before I call them, or I'm going to end up crying on the phone, and I refuse to give them the satisfaction. I have to go. I just saw something move by the toaster. I hate it here. I hate it so much. Call me back ASAP.